And we are going live with Dragon Age Inquisition in a few moments. As soon as this loads up, welcome, and I hope you're having a good morning, evening, or afternoon. It's afternoon here in lovely Puerto Rico, and it's August, and it's hot. So there we are. It's a thing. Mhm. Things should be kicking up into gear soon enough. So last time we were in Orlais, we recruited two of the just two more companions to the Inquisition. We have two more to go, but I don't have the power yet to go to those other places, so that'll have to wait. As will the loading times in this game, which clearly were designed for console and not PC. Uh, well, everybody's doing okay. Um, and I connected a new controller. Well, an old controller because I was using an Xbox OC controller. So I dug out my old wired uh, Xbox 360 afterglow thingy. Hopefully, it will work a little better. Won't have the same conflicts as the Xbox One controller. I think it's because the Xbox controller has higher functions, designed to work more like a mouse, like a mice. Well, that's more than one, but you get the idea. Here we are. Transition. Make sure I close other windows, etc., etc. As we play, it feels a little bit different. Just one is a bit smaller than the original controller. Well, not the original, the one I was using before. But this one was getting old, and that's why I bought the new controller. But I may just buy a substitute, hopefully a wireless 360 controller or Xbox One. We'll see. Warriors contain more punishment than other classes because of their high armor and guard abilities. Those that have guard abilities. Mounts are the fastest way to travel across the land. Well, fast travel is the fastest way to cross the land, but there you go. And it's in the name. Oh. For some reason, it doesn't auto capture to well. Well, I know why it doesn't auto capture. It doesn't auto capture to window because I shift the window last night for the Lessons Learned podcast. I apologize for people who were watching and said, "Well, what about the drop frames?" Yeah, there were quite a bit of drop frames. I think it's just my internet connection was not. Zoom, which is the software I use to do the teleconferencing, and my internet connection don't get along. Mine is pretty fast for a non-commercial line, but still. I also love the Dragon Age Inquisition song. The theme, it's pretty pumping. Again, something I didn't like about Dragon Age 2. Like, Should be seeing something. Okay, yeah, it should be. Oh, of course, I have to. I also have to transition. OBS. We're here. We are in the Frostback Mountains. Okay, let me check something. Let's see if inventory. Reinforce. Examine. Yeah, I have to reach level 9. Probably already have a better armor. Yeah, you can see that it doesn't do the whole clicking thing where it was doing before, which is sort of it's not doing that. Yeah, I think it's a mouse. Has too many inputs from the mouse and and other sources, so it just gets confused. There's another game that I'm also playing that seems to be very similar to that, which is a light air combat game.
Travel safely.
Travel safely. I should have enough power to. The thing I kept this. Whoa. Yeah, that happens. That's the thing that happens, and it's a game thing, not a.
Master Harry said we weren't to sell Inquisition blades.
What Harry doesn't know.
Yeah, that little stop, that's a game thing. Because it also happened on the 360 when I was playing it, so.
There's a rumor the Wardens have a presence over on the Storm Coast. Do you think you can find a reason to travel that way?
Yes.
Let's talk to Sarah. I don't really like Sarah a lot, but she's not horrible. I mean, she's well written. It's just.
Oh no, it's fine, yeah. It's just.
There's something about her that just puts me off.
Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like. Well, it's funny, right? Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really, what everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, all chosen Lord Herald?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I'm ready to give it a shot. That's all I can ask from anyone else.
I'm in. It's an investment, yeah? Better pay off, too. Stupid war and everything. I had things to do.
What exactly had you do two things to do? I don't think you had a lot of things to actually do. I don't believe that. You don't sound like somebody who was very busy. Ground scraper. Ground scraper. Are you scraping the ground? Do you have anything better to do? No? Oh well. That was my inner Jesse talking there. Jesse Cox, by the way. He never actually finished. Oh no, the ground scraper. He actually never finished his Inquisition Let's Play, which is sad. Real sad. I want him to finish. I'm having fun watching it. Of course, now. Oh. Sorry. Let me get that mic over here. Ooh. Adjust it. Aye. So adjust it. I can't keep an accent going. I think I'm getting a little better in accents, English or British accents. But I still do that drift thing where it's like I start talking one way, then it sounds, and even some people think it sounds Australian. I was like, well, this just sounds like something recognizable, right?
How many people are going to die before this is over?
Not as many as would have if we weren't here. Now hush, pass me a bandage.
It's true. Butler has stand on us. I hope my hunch was wrong.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Show me the reports. There were so many questions surrounding Farria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Farria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Wait. What are you doing?
He betrayed us. He murdered my agent.
And you'd kill him? Just like that?
You find fault with my decision?
We can't solve our problems with murder.
And what would you suggest? Leave him be. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
Now is precisely the time for ideals.
You feel very strongly about this.
Yes, and I'm the PC.
Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives. Now, if you're happy, I have.
I
more
mean,
work
her
to do.
logic is sound, right? But it's Liliana. I'm like, sweet Liliana, don't be a murderer. I mean, she murdered a lot of people already, so it's not like he hasn't done it before. So.
Cedric said the blankets weren't worth selling. He's giving them to the Inquisition for free.
Okay, what do we have now?
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
Of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
I could at least find out what the mages want.
No doubt what they've always wanted. Support for their cause.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
You see,
There is
Liliana
one
doesn't
other
have
matter.
like
Several
high
months
heels.
ago,
You would expect her
the
to
Grey
have it,
Wardens
but she
of
doesn't.
Ferelden vanished. I
In
sent
fact, most of
word
the
to those
leading
in
characters
Orlais,
don't have high heels.
but they have also
It's very interesting.
disappeared.
I think their high heels are
Ordinarily,
more
I
a sign
wouldn't
of
even consider
nobility
the
in this
idea
game rather than
involved in all
femininity,
this,
which is
but
a
the
welcome
timing
change.
is curious.
That does sound odd, I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the Hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Please tell me if you find something. You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. It's odd to see them accepting a mage as their hero. First, we're too dangerous to let out of the circles. And then we're apostate rebels. But they seem to like you. My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker, Pentagast, and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
I found something the demons left behind. Can you use it?
Yes, that's very helpful. Just leave it there and the Tranquil and I will examine it.
The Lone Warden. Before the Fifth Blight and
Has
the arrival of
Cassandra
the heroes
spoken to you
around them.
about my new recruits?
They are not your recruits, Commander. They're ours.
Haven was occupied by cultists worshipped a dragon. Once they believed to be the Rastas reborn, both the cultists and the dragon were long gone by the time the Chantry arrived to build the Temple of Sacred Ashes. There may still be undiscovered passages in the mountains and their relics with concerted effort. Might be possible to unearth something useful for the Inquisition. Okay, Liliana.
Let's see what we have.
It fits Liliana better because... A memo from Josephine written on a note. Know what ruins a party? Bees. You know what teaches how to jar them safe but angry, stingy. It's no good for honey, but great for throwing. Here somewhere.
All right.
We get bees. Bees. Barrack Revenge. Need a favor, actually. Let's call it a loan since I'll pay it back. I got it from my editor in Kirkwall today. He tells me that the Hard in Hightown 3, the report. Hard in Hightown 3 appeared in print in an Antivan printer a couple weeks ago. There's printing presses now, so I guess this is not truly medieval anymore. That's the thing. Well, things have moved on the age, so it's what, 15th century, late 14th, 15th century. I don't remember what Gutenberg. I mean, it's alternate world, this, but still. Contacting the merchant guilds, look for the and there's gunpowder. At least the Kunari have gunpowders, but and they seem to have cannon or the equivalent, but not guns, not handguns or rifles or anything like that, or muskets. That was Imperial Bellenforth. That sounds like Bellin. Bellin. Depending, I could tell you them that for free. You got contacts with Antifa print houses. Maybe you can find.
At your service.
I like Radek.
The Maker has revealed to me, as there is but one
creme.
world,
Creme de la creme.
one life, one death.
Excuse me.
There
I've got a
is
message
but
for the
one
Inquisition, but I'm
Lord,
having a hard time getting anyone to
and
talk to me.
he is our Maker.
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
I gotta open up the Storm Coast first. I know, Mother Giselle. I like Mother Giselle, but it's like there's so much stuff to talk about. It's like, okay, you should wait. Yeah, I can wait. Wait. Ferelden. I like also the way they expanded Ferelden. Ferelden has some significant great war activity. Starks will attack the city or anything. 10 years ago, it's not unusual for their order to fade from public notice
What
when
have your
there's no.
ears heard, Leliana?
When there's no
Anything
blight,
you don't
however,
already
recent
know
reports
about?
claim that a group was traveling
No,
along the northern
nothing.
coastline. Wardens tend to follow their own agenda, but the breach has no doubt caught their attention. If they will know something that, yeah. Lieutenant Harding has led the company. Okay, let's go. Confirm. I always like to have. I'm a mage, and I'll always have another mage, because other mages, they complement each other very well. They're like my go-to class in this game. The fact that they have barriers and can revive people, or can do AoE damage later on and damage at range, yeah, and weaken enemies and all that. Yeah, that's always good. One mage is not enough. So yeah, hard and hard time. Hard time. Like I said before, one of the novels, at least the first one, I suppose, has been yeah, made into a real book. I hope it has an audiobook. I usually don't like audiobooks, but if it's done by Brian Bloom, who does the books of Varric, I'm getting it. I'm gonna get it. As soon as I can do it, I'll get it. Just for the hell of it. Oh, am I even streaming?
Your worship, for what it's worth, welcome to the Storm Coast.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
How so?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck, and enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
She seems very much the Ice Queen, so yes, let's give her that icy abilities. That sounded like a dragon. A dragon.
Who placed a skull out here? And for what purpose?
Ah, the shards. I once managed to get all the shards. It doesn't... I mean, it's an interesting thing. And I also like how they, especially in this game, they do use the intersection of different cultures, like how here
Stand down! Prim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks. So, you're with the Inquisition, huh? Glad you can make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming.
Iron Bull, I presume.
Yeah, the horns usually give it away. I assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Good to see you again. Throat cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have them check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least a bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it. And I'm sure the Inquisition can afford us.
How much is this going to cost me exactly?
Wouldn't cost you anything personally. Unless you want to buy drinks later. Your ambassador, what's her name? Josephine. We'd go through her and get the payments set up. Gold will take care of itself. Don't worry about that. All that matters is we're worth it.
Nice lampshading hanging on the fact that you actually don't have to micromanage, payments of that
Charges
sort,
seem
right?
like an
Which
excellent
makes
company.
sense. It'll be a different game
But
otherwise.
you're not just getting the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons? Dragons? The bigger the better. And there's one other thing. Might be useful. Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra?
They're a Kunari organization, right? The equivalent of their guards and city watch.
I'd go closer to spies. But yeah, that's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
You're a Kunari spy, and you just told me.
Whatever happened at that Conclave thing is bad. Someone needs to get that breach closed. So whatever I am, I'm on your side.
You still could have hidden what you are.
From something called the Inquisition. I'd have been tipped sooner or later. Better you hear it right up front from me.
What's in these Ben Hasrath reports you're offering to share?
Enemy movements, suspicious activity, intriguing gossip. It's a bit of everything. Alone they're not much, but if your spy master is worth it, damn, she'll put him to good use.
She?
I did a little research. Plus, I've always had a weakness for redheads.
What would you send home in these reports of yours?
Enough to keep my superiors happy. Nothing that'll compromise your operations. The Kunari want to know if they need to launch an invasion to stop the whole damn world from falling apart. You let me send word of what you're doing, it'll put some minds at ease. That's good for everyone.
That's interesting. Not only does he seems to have a personal... he's clearly disobeying orders. And the Kunari are supposed to be very, hierarchical and all that. Second, he is clearly smart enough to say, hey, listen, this is a problem everybody needs to solve. And third, he doesn't want a Kunari invasion. Apparently, at least that's what he says. Of course, that's sort of the implied threat as well. It's like, well, I'll help you, help me, but if you don't work together, man, this is gonna get very ugly. It's gonna get very bad, I'm not saying it, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
Find some way to seal them. You're Tevinter, right? Try blood magic. We'll meet you back at Haven.
Look like I'm saying it, but I am kind of saying it. No, let's do the no, not her. Varric and Vivian. Character record. The Iron Bull. Champions of the Just. Swindleweed. Weed. Greater Hatchet.
Someone went to a great deal of trouble to find that, whatever it is.
We came first from the sea, the Dreadnoughts took part rolling at a stroke. We marched onto the land called Saharon, then the Rivain and the Tevinter Imperium, our Vidatari told us the Tevinter capital of Luna was unstable, though it did not fall, its walls were cracked with steel and back on fire, cannon fire. The Winter saw what discipline achieves. The Basques call us conquerors when we brought them purpose. When we Tamasarans teach a child to read or wilderness is made fruitful, is that conquest? Without that's a justification for the Kuhn.
Those must be the bandits Harding mentioned.
Gotta level up. I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna let it show. I need that the spell because that helps a lot with rips. You can literally dispel the summoning creatures, which actually is something you could actually probably do in Dungeons and Dragons as well. You could counterspell a summon, like, oh, I want to summon some reinforcements. Nope, no, you can't. Summoning is a very powerful ability at higher levels in Dungeons and Dragons, but not so much at lower levels. Because the monsters, the creature, well, in games they're very useful because for some reason summon creatures are tougher. Like if you play Baldur's Gate or something like that, you all have at least one mage you can summon. You're golden because they're just, you can just keep summoning and summoning and summoning until you drown the enemy in, like, you know, badgers or something. But in the actual game, usually summoning is not something that that's gotta hurt.
These must be the missing soldiers.
Murdered. Shit. Someone should pay for this.
These notes were found near the murdered Inquisition soldiers. The paper is not crumpled or torn and slowly were left behind instead of dropped. It's not our place to disagree either. Well, let them come with the Mercy's crest. The place of Hesarian will listen. You will only get yourself cast out or worse.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hesarian.
If you're interested, it looks like we can challenge their leader.
Naming themselves after the sword that killed Andraste. Ambitious.
Still in combat, huh?
My darling Bastien has a house on the coast. Not this one, of course. A decent one.
Okay. Are you fronting for your boyfriend? Jeez. Oh, my boyfriend has a house. It's a pretty house. You like the house? Cause not like this one. This is a hovel. Oh God, Vivian. Okay, I get it. You're rich. Well, you're not rich. He's rich. Like, my daddy has it. It's like, well, sugar daddy in this case. I guess she does call him daddy. Yeah, do you call your Bastion daddy? I bet she does. I bet she actually does. It would be the kind of thing that she would do. Like, she wouldn't call anyone else daddy, but yeah, she'll call him daddy. Oh, hell yeah. With 3 sugars, baby. 3 sugars. How many lumps you want with that, daddy, huh? Okay, I run that joke to the ground, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know what I mean. What do you want?
Word for you.
What is it?
What is
This could help us.
Okay. I need a lot of destock I hide, and I think I know where to get it. I think. Elfroot. Serpent stone. Always get more, right? Just because you had a little bit of serpent stone doesn't mean you can have. That's one thing about this game, and I think that's one of the reasons why Jesse Cox, I think he said that he couldn't keep playing it because he had to stop every 5 seconds to just gather everything. Like, even when you clearly outdone your need for iron, you still gather iron. And elf root, you always get elf root.
Scouted the area.
Mercenary code. Okay, let me. Armor. I don't think you have to wear it, the crest, because I almost never use the crest in order to get to the followers of Hezarian, right? The sons of Hezarian, the blades of Hezarian, whatever they're called. Too bad in this game you can't roll and you can't swim. Let there be light. Go. But I need more. You always need more. I mean, most of the stuff I'm getting right now are grays, but still useful to be bought and sold, I suppose. Be sold. I'm not buying them, I'm selling them. So, find the bandits and deal with them. Was I expecting any spiders there? Maybe. Could be. Distinct possibility. Ring of critical damage. You know, I'm gonna give that to Vatic. open this one.
Need anything?
Oh, open also this one. Yeah, by the way, you don't find iron like that, but, you know, for convenience of the game, minerals, and all, like, yeah, just manipulate this stone, black stone here, and voila, we got ourselves something. Coming up. The special amulets are respective blades of Hazarian, and fashioning them will allow you to get our agents to negotiate with the cultists and perhaps gain some convert to our cause. Reward 1 power. Okay then. Let me wear it then. Let me wear the thing. The thing that will let me talk to these idiots who decided to attack the Inquisition. Well, he didn't last long. Beware fallen rocks indeed. The Great Cove. And this is what I really like about the melding of different cultures. That doesn't happen a lot in Origins, but it does happen here where they're like, oh, here's the Dwarven influence, and here's an Elven influence, and, you know, here's what dwarves and elves have worked together with humans and so on. It happened a little bit in Origins, where you can see where the elves... Well, there's hints of that, because in the Brazilian forest, you do have some ruins that are elven and human, but it's not really explained what happened there. Was it that the humans attacked and tried to kill the elves and kill the humans with it? Was it another enemy? Was it a Tevinter? I mean, it's never really explained. It's supposed to be 1,000 years ago, and I wish I knew what happened in those ruins, but it's one of the mysteries for the ages, I suppose. And then there is, well, basically that's it. Well, the Grey Warriors, of course, which transcend racial divisions. If I don't have the crest, then I have to kill everybody. But I don't want to kill everybody.
Someone's come with a challenge.
The others failed.
I think you're the leader.
So you would challenge the blades of Hasarian?
You killed soldiers of the Inquisition. We cannot let this stand.
You want justice? Claim it.
Okay. I don't like killing puppies.
It's done. Provided no one stabs you in the back on the way out.
At your service, Your Worship.
Your worship, the blades of Hasarian are at your service. If you want eyes on the coast, here we are.
I've not heard of the blades of Hasarian.
Our work is often misunderstood. But we serve Andraste, and whoever proves worthy of wielding us.
Do you have anything to report?
Nothing of note, your worship.
I should go.
You know where to find us. You alright?
I was just a girl. I remember them, you know.
I know.
It's always important to give your warriors taunt abilities, especially if you're playing a mage. Otherwise, kind of defeats the point. Conversion of Hesarian. Beloved Andraste, sit well at the Maker's side. I know my sorrow, for my heart has weakened to serve your greater glory. As she was my enemy, I heeded the word of the betrayer, and so sentenced her to die. Though she was bound upon the pyre, so that all might bear witness. But as the prophet burned, silence fell through flame, licked mortal flesh, she would not cry. Hearts of the people filled with shame, and all were silent with her. I thought it defiance, and I thought marvel his strength. My heart was yet unmoved. It was then the prophet raised her eyes, her visage wreathed with sacred flame. It was then I saw her sorrow and her acceptance. I felt the flame eat mine own flesh. I felt his slow death upon me, and knew her suffering. By flame I walked and drove the sword into her heart, and so the prophet was released. The Maker whispered in my ear, and I knew I become the instrument of his will. Zarian was the Tevinter, the emperor, that condemned Andraste to death. But at the moment that she was being burned at the stake as a witch, which probably she was a mage. Some people say that she might be a mage. That's one of the things, a very interesting thing that the decision that they made early on in this series, and they sort of played with it, is that they are supernatural powers, clearly. They're demons and stuff like that. But also the belief in the Maker. But is the Maker real, or is it just magic?
Okay, that's badass.
Let's try not to get eaten, shall we?
I like the dragons and what they did with the dragons. And you'll notice, look at that giant. Now this is very interesting. Look at that giant. That giant has tusk. You can't really see it from here, but in fact, it's a cyclops. And here's where you find some interesting things. Now, there's a theory that ancient Greeks and other ancient peoples found fossils, but they didn't understand what those fossils meant. And so because of the way the fossils looked, they would ascribe, for example, stuff like I don't want to fight him. Not yet. Too low. Oh, he's wounded though. Uh-oh. Guess I have no choice. Everybody get up. I usually don't fight them, but at this level anyway. Virulent staff. Let's see what the virulent staff does. Actually better than I want to have. Ah, but it's level 8. Okay. Everybody okay? No? Maybe?
You know, Viv, you're not bad with that staff.
You will address me as Enchanter Vivienne, court mage to the Empire of Orlais, or Madame de Fer, not Viv.
Oh, right, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am works as well.
I like that. I like that it changed. It's like, oh, it's not Viv, you know, he tries to, it's like, no. Boundaries. You're gonna call me like this or that. And he's like, oh. And it's interesting because it shows his culture, the fact that women in the Qunari culture are the teachers, right? So they're the first sign of authority that that all Qunari obey. So that comes from that side of it. So that clash of cultures, it shows something about him, it shows something about her, it shows that she's not going to put up with any diminutives, because also naming someone gives you power over them. She's saying, no, you don't get to name me, you don't get to tell me what my name is. There's rank and there's, there's position and there's reasons for it, and you will obey me. You not necessarily obey me, you will obey that ranking, right? You will respect it and obey it. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more things here, and then I think we're gonna go back to back to the main camp. Okay. But I want some dragon's blood first. course, now they included a jumping button. They made jumping puzzles as well. Which is a thing. Yeah, the drops are not 1-to-1, by the way, so. A lot of crap in here. You have to also, and at least in this game, you gotta adjust the lighting. Otherwise, you won't be able to see damn thing, which kind of makes sense. I'm gonna need those glands later on, I think. Also very interesting, and this particular game brings it into sharp focus, is like the choice of what animals are from our world that we consider to be normal animals, crows, chickens, stuff like that, is... Oh, what happened to him? Something there, but dragonlings. Yeah, Dragonlings don't have the environmental protections, the energy protections that their parents have. So, for example, a fire breathing Dragonling, which are all Dragonlings, doesn't, for example, it's not immune to fire.
Fine marksman. How do you manage that while staring up at everyone's ass the whole time?
In a world of tall people, you find ways to keep them from tripping over you.
You ever get the asses mixed up?
If I do, Tiny, you'll be the first to know. You think the Inquisition could maybe find out what these things are?
If I do, Tiny, I like Varric. Challenge, you ruddy bastard. But I in the bottom of the ocean if you weren't for me. That marlin would have spiked and dropped you. I saw your life and this is how you repay me. That cat was ours. We both worked for it. You're not getting away with this. I'm getting the gold you owe me. Even if I had to beat it out of you. Just so you don't run off the little shit I know you are. I did your sister. That's right. What a bastard. Though clearly she didn't care. It's her choice, not his brother. So why is he insulted? Speak as an only child, of course. That's the one thing that's very curious, especially on my man is like, oh, you're my best friend ever, but don't go after my sister. It's like, isn't he supposed to be your best friend? If somebody should be with your sister, should be the man that you trust as your best friend. Not some rando, right? Right. One of the things, especially as a man, you're like, of course you wouldn't, no, never. It's like, but wait a minute. So you think I'm a complete bastard to women because clearly you don't trust me around your sister. What does that say about me or you or us as you know, some people that, you know, potion spells. Oh, I found all of them. But we are going to go back to the beginning. I could get those shards, and the shards give me power, and yada yada yada. But Val Royeaux. Any resident in Royan will say it is the greatest city in the world. May takes such a pride in the arrogance. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we skimmed through that very quickly. Like, well, I'm gonna read this. Never mind.
I'm glad they're a bit...
Now, don't you worry about that sort of thing, girl. Looks fine. You need something, let me know. Another time, then.
Oh, let me sell all my crap. That's the thing. You have to go back and sell all this stuff, and you know, really like. I'm gonna sell this potion, but nobody actually uses this. I was gonna use the Deep Stalker. Let's talk about Iron Bull. Let's talk about him.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Canary learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
I'm impressed by what Cullen has accomplished with the troops.
Damn right. It takes time to build a group into a team, but he's got their loyalty. Now he just needs them to make a decent shield wall, and they'll be good to go. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
Cassandra's been the driving force of this Inquisition. She's the leader in all but name.
Cassandra's a seeker. From what I gather, that's a bit like a Ben Hasrath. She's a good hunter and a great fighter, but she doesn't see the big picture. Too busy searching for answers. My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions, and live with the consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen. It won't, but it could.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about the Iron Bull.
The Chief. Last time I met him, he saved my life. I never thought I'd work for Kunari, but he grows on you. He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's Iron Bull as a commander?
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept any less.
That's when we fragile
He keeps us alive, he leads
pine.
from the
Look,
front,
like
and
going,
if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens. I've seen bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. Bull isn't like that. The charges might give him more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Kunari spy's mercenary company?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble, trying to flee to Vinter. A Tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make an example of me. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
Is it strange to work for Kunari?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. The Bull's charges don't care who you light a candle for, so long as your shield stays up. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasrath, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that he was a spy.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to trust. He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. Eyes to eye, he says. It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
Ranger says, she says a lot of boys write letters back home, but
So we have to
he doesn't.
Speak only the word.
Yes, I have to catch myself there. It's interesting part of her. Oh. God damn it. His background.
Tell Master Harriet that ore doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, Mom. I think he knows, Mom.
So stupid.
These truths the Maker has revealed to me. As there is but one world, one life.
I will take these injury reports to my Nave. And Mother Giselle will treat all demon claw wounds as you suggest, to deal with the venom.
Toxin, not venom. It's only venom if it's deliberately injected into the bloodstream. This is simply an infection. Are you writing this down?
I have a very good memory.
Write it down, please.
Write it down. Don't F around. Life's our stake. Amulet of Power for Cleric. We got the jar of bees. And a few missing soldiers for Eldon. Life for Amulet, that's pretty good. No, I'm not gonna choose the Templars. Okay, I gotta approach the mages first and then talk to the... Yeah, okay, got it. To the Hinterlands. There's a reason why I'm going with that combo. The Iron Bull. M, my dear friend, a complaint is sent to difficulty phase. It has such a well-equipped band that attack your family caravans with such. Was it? Your shipping schedules indeed highly unfortunate. There's no shame at all in finding your household guard wanting in such trying circumstances. So blah 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 blah. In other words, you have a traitor amidst your people. We're outsiders. We can deal with it.
Dispatch for you.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
Innocent people getting caught between the mages and Templars.
The Iron Bull is pretty much he looks very tough, but he actually is more of a glass cannon. Think about it. Sandra is tougher by far. What's interesting that characters like Cassandra and Vivienne, who side with the Templars for the most part, have no problem killing them. More Drakestone. Okay, I know how to do this. I always forget. Gotta put them when they're in at 50%. Otherwise, they'll never drink their potions. It means we go through potions faster. That's one of the reasons why I prefer to have the regeneration potions. That way, I can usually use them, or my character can, and stay in the fight without using up healing potions. The rest of the party can use them. Blood lotus. I mean, they can use them too, but
We're the Templars. They don't care who they kill anymore.
I found this ring on a Templar I killed.
This is it. Praise to you and the Inquisition for giving my husband justice. It won't bring him back, but his spirit will rest easier now. As will mine.
Away with you!
ram leather. Just sounds a bit naughty, if you know what I mean. I do like the map design as well, the ups and downs and using vertical. Oh. That was an elf. Now it's a dead elf. Like a battering ram? That's weird. Good King Calenham.
That tower is impressive, even as a ruin. I wonder what dreams it might hold.
There's some backtracking you can do in the game because there's always a few quests that are there, but I never found the backtracking in this game as annoying as I found it in, say, Andromeda, because again, the loading screens and, you know, going from one place to the other. This game actually encourages you to find things rather than, and you stumble across things and stuff like that, rather than completely like, oh, you can't find this thing until you do the 3 other things that we have to do first, and you have no idea you have to do. It's like, oh, now I have to go back. And, yeah. Mostly once you're clear an area, it stays clear. You don't have to go back. Andromeda wasn't like that at all. I wish it was, but it wasn't. Yeah, I noticed that the problem was with the controller. I haven't had the same problems with this controller so far. Okay, where do I go now? Where do we go? Let's recruit our lone warden. Let's round out the group, and then we go to talk to the rebel mages, the rebel scum. Actually, I'm a mage. I don't think they're rebel scum. Vivian, on the other hand, does, but she's wrong. Who cares, right?
Make a curse this year. Where are we gonna go?
We'll find someplace.
Where? The mages and Templars are gonna burn down the whole world.
Oh no, wait. Okay, let's go talk to the rebel mages because there's a couple of things I gotta do there first, and when I come back to here, it's much easier and just do them all. That's, again, you can do that.
Maker, I hope it's not me.
The game encourages you to do that. So. I realize I have a stain on my shirt. That sucks. Paste. Sure, well, probably I wash my teeth. It's just.
It's just what I heard. Frost every morning. We'll be losing toes soon enough.
I'm working on it, dude. Okay, more fighting. But I can avoid most of it. But not all of it. Like, not this. You know, I think I'm gonna take care of the mages first. They're around here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. Already here, I might as well take care of them.
This area is full of magical energy. The rebel mages cannot be far.
Let's do this.
Time on the King's Road without the mages causing trouble.
I believe the renegade Templars still present a problem, however.
Yeah, they do.
Solus, darling, if you wish instruction in proper magical attacks, do let me know.
I will. Perhaps you will direct me to a circle mage who does not front-load her barriers.
Nice. Like, yeah. I know more about this than you ever will, Vivian. Just don't go there. Got another schematic. Summer stone. Ah, royal effort. This is also important. Very useful. Very useful. I like the banter. The banter is pretty good. That's something that I think Mass Effect has whiffled a little bit, but it's been very consistent when it comes to say, Dragon Age. Dragon Age, I think, always had the better banter. People in Mass Effect, people who play Mass Effect, they hate the elevators. So I hate the elevators. It's like, but that's when you get the best banter, dude. Like primo banter. Can't hate on the banter. Yes, I know it gets repetitive. There's only so many lines are recorded, but you know, it's still good. No, I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay, let me close this rift for a sec. Let's deal with the rift. If I can. Yes, I can deal with it. Can I open this? Is this... Or do I need Varric to open it? Nope. I gotta find the key. A kingdom for a key. Loot, loot, loot. Let's keep on going. Let's push forward. For some reason I reversed course and I needed to go in the other direction. This way? This is the stuff that in Origins you sort of skip because you don't go through all this place. One thing I didn't like when we get to Redcliffe is I didn't like how they changed Redcliffe. I mean, they expanded it and all, but it actually doesn't look like the old Redcliffe. I actually like the design of the old Redcliffe. You can say there was a war and all that, but still. what's left of him.
Redcliffe Village should be just ahead.
Should
I
be.
want a constant watch on that damn thing. Sound the alarm at the first sign of demons.
What was that?
None of my reports indicated temporal distortions near these rifts. Interesting.
There are many mages and women. Maybe Fiona would...
Make her have mercy. It's over. Open the gates.
Okay, I was still afraid that it might.
We spread word the Inquisition was coming.
Dude, what's happened with your voice?
But you should know that no one here was expecting us.
No
Slowing
one?
down a bit.
Not even Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Streaming, but seems to be doing
If she
fine.
was, she hasn't told anyone. We've arranged use of the tavern for the negotiations.
Agents of the Inquisition, my apologies. Magister Alexius is in charge now, but hasn't yet arrived. He's expected shortly. You can speak with the former Grand Enchanter in the meantime.
Wow, dude, even for an elf, your ears are huge. I'll have to check into that. Maybe all the magic that you're using.
The veil is weaker here than in Haven. And not merely weak, but altered in a way I have not seen.
We must speak with Fiona at once.
Inquisition soldiers?
I hear most of the
Iron Bull, did you clean your weapon after the last fight?
No. Odds are we're gonna be killing something again in a few minutes. Besides, the bloodstains are good for scaring enemies. They see a big, messy blade, and they... You know... I'll go clean it.
Thank you, darling.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. It's like, you know, I'm gonna have this long-winded explanation about...
Windmill has weathered a great deal. I am impressed it remains standing.
Thank you. He's like so ultra polite, like, yeah, he's drinking, she just has him by the little finger. She knows that she'll do whatever he asks, because of course he will. Because he's a little bitty canary, and that's what he does. Thank you, darling. I'll give this to Iron Bull. He doesn't have any accessories. He's been getting massacred by those cold spells. It's slowing down a little bit, but not in a way that I go like, oh my god, it's unplayable. You notice it, right? I think it's all the details, all the people. You know, they created a very crowded scene and between me,
We're just rumors after all.
Good day. Yes, sir.
They say a desire demon took the mind of our young Lord Connor. The hero of Ferelden drove the demon away to save him. Maker be praised.
Tell me about your people.
They say a spirit dwells in a small lake south of the highway. The girls of the village bring it daisies and ask for love, but rarely does it listen. For 'tis a spirit of valor, not love, and it favors blood lotus flowers.
What I don't like, oh yeah, it's a little bit. I think it's just the sheer amount of stuff that it's here, right? All the people, But it's not to the point where I'm like, oh my god, I can't play the game. No, that's not it. Let's talk to her.
Too many people dying for want of simple herbs. May I help you?
Are you running short of healing herbs?
Yes. We've many injured from attacks by those cursed Templars. I need the herbs to treat people's wounds. It's too dangerous to go hunting through the hills to gather more. I've a list there of the herbs I need.
Goodbye.
Stay safe out there. May I help you?
I found some of the herbs you were looking for.
Thank you.
Are you running short of healing herbs?
Yes, I need them to keep wounds from going bad. It's too dangerous to go hunting through the hills to gather more. I've a list there of the herbs I need.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for your help. A pleasure to see you again.
I found some of the herbs you were looking for.
The herbs.
Yes, these are
I
perfect.
guess it has an H in it.
Are you running short of healing herbs?
Yes, I need them to keep wounds from going bad.
Same
It's
thing
too
over and
dangerous
over. I
to
do it
go
like 3 or
hunting
4
through the hills to
times.
gather more. I've a
Should have
list there of
recorded
the
some
herbs
different
I need.
lines.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for your help. A pleasure to see you again.
I found some of the herbs you were looking for.
Yes, these are perfect.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for your help. A pleasure to see you again.
There are refugees at the crossroads who would benefit from a healer.
Of course they would. These attacks by the Templars have endangered countless innocent lives. But if I go to the crossroads to help, I might end up in danger myself. I doubt those refugees would risk their lives for a knife here. Why should I risk mine for them?
Save yourself, and all the villagers will remember is that you hid, even though they did the same. If you help the refugees, they may not love you, but they will hold their tongues before calling you knife here.
All right. If the Inquisition soldiers are there, I might be safer regardless. I'll see you at the crossroads soon. Just give me a moment to gather my things. A pleasure to see you again.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for your help.
Conscientious objector. But I don't have a key to that, so...
Good day, Inquisitor.
Yeah, I don't have the money for that. But I probably will. Well, not really. I probably will never have. By the time I get the money to that, I either make better armor or...
Are you sure? It's just what I heard.
Can I talk to you? Never mind. Guess that's not very talkative.
Mother, I had the dream again last night.
No, there'll be no talk of this.
It was so real. And when I woke up, the sheets were as cold as ice.
Let me see if I can find Connor, though. Connor's supposed to be here. I saved him, I think. Connor. Oh, Connor.
Ah, Senna, my darling. For the first time in all these years, I fear I will not be visiting your ashes. What world is this? That demons and brigands stop a man from taking flowers to his wife's shrine.
What if I took flowers to your wife's shrine for you?
I do not know what to say, except thank you. I never expected anyone not of the blood to care. My Senna would be grateful. Her shrine lies on a hill to the west, near the tablstones. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Walk in peace.
I talked to one of the rebel mages.
I like these little details that callbacks to earlier games. In the game, it works, right? You're Redcliffe, you did help Redcliffe. No, it's not Connor.
Sod it. I can't see a thing with that bright thing up in the sky.
Grandmother, I think we should go. Go? In the middle of the war?
Heraldon Captain's Sword. It's supposed to be around here somewhere.
You should talk to the Magister. You're the rightful heir to Redcliffe. In Tevinter, they would never take that away just because you're a mage.
After what I did, I'm not even sure I should be here.
It's not your fault. It could have happened to any of us.
That doesn't help. That's why people hate us.
But
just stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
Are you Connor?
You've heard the story, I guess. I can't believe King Alistair thought Redcliffe was the right place to send the mages. I mean, he grew up here. Did he think they would just forget what I did to them?
You're not in favor of the alliance with Tevinter.
Alliance? Is that what they're calling it? That Magister threw my uncle out into the street. He signed us into servitude. This is my home. Redcliffe, Ferelden. No matter what evils I've done, I would never have invited Tevinter here.
You were behind the siege of Redcliffe 10 years ago.
That's me. The boy with Redcliffe's blood on his hands.
Weren't you possessed? It wasn't you who did those things.
Wasn't it? I let the demon in. Sometimes when I dream, I remember what happened. I see the death and destruction, and it's me. It's all me.
Why isn't Arl Eamon in power anymore?
After the lands meet, he stayed in Denerim. I couldn't be his heir, not after what happened. So eventually he passed the title to Uncle Tegan.
How did you end up in the Mage Rebellion?
I was living in the Ferelden Tower when the circles dissolved. I voted against it, but at first it seemed all right. No one was summoning demons. They just wanted to oversee themselves. But then the Magister came, and it's wrong what they do in Tevinter. We are monsters. We need to be controlled. If it wasn't for me, every family in this village wouldn't be missing a son, a daughter, a spouse.
I need to be going.
Please, talk some sense into the Grand Enchanter. Selling out to the Imperium won't win us any friends. We have to find a way to make peace.
I mean, he feels guilty for what happened, and I don't blame him. It was terrible. He was a child, though. His mother's really his fault. Couldn't deal with the fact that he had magic. Had to hide it. That's another thing. That's something I was gonna say earlier. Just money lying around. That it seems that some, especially in different places, are able to actually hide their magic in such a way that they can keep it. You know, that guy that intercepted me in Val Royeaux, he clearly had magic. He clearly knew how to use it, and he clearly was a member of the nobility. So maybe there is a double standard. And we're gonna leave it here today. We're gonna have a meeting with the Grand Chanter Fiona and see what Tevinter is doing exactly here in this place. For now, thank you for coming, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye.